This is the brand new Porsche Macan 4 Electric in Gentium Blue Metallic, and it's time to test the important aspects of it, like real range and consumption, acceleration, cabin noise and charging. Welcome to It's Only Electric. Let's start with the basic facts. This is a mid-sized premium SUV from Porsche, measuring 4.8 meters in total length with a wheelbase of 2.9, curb weight 2.3 tons, so it's a heavy car. 4 stands for four-wheel drive, which means that it has 2 permanent magnet motors. The powerful one is placed here at the rear and one at the front. So combined output in launch mode is 408 horsepower and 650 Newton meters of torque. If you don't use launch mode, you will have 387 horsepower. It should be able to do 0 to 100 in 5.2 seconds with a top speed of 220 kilometers per hour. Will we be able to achieve those 5.2 seconds? We're going to test that very, very soon, so stay tuned. And when it comes to charging, the Macan has 2 charge ports. The one at the other side is for home charging, slow charging. This one is for both, but has the CCS 2 port for fast charging. And when it comes to fast charging, DC charging, it delivers a top speed of 270 kilowatts. And according to Porsche themselves, it should be able to charge from 10 to 80% in 21 minutes only. That's quick. Do you know what? We're gonna test that too. And when it comes to home charging, it supports 11 kilowatts and 3 phases. The Macan has a range of over 600 kilometers. This one though has a certified WLTP range of 558 kilometers, mostly punished due to the bigger rims. This is the Spider rims, extra equipped, 22-inch staggered setup, 255s at the front, 295s at the back, Continental winter contact tires because it's winter and it's getting cold. All that range is delivered by a big battery pack with a gross capacity of 100 kilowatt hours and a net capacity of 95. NMC pack, you know the drill. I think that's all the necessary information for this test today. Let us start testing and let us start with the range and consumption test. So, just started the range and consumption test. The test cycle is 80 kilometers long with a mixed speed of 93 kilometers per hour. So that's the average speed. So it speeds between 50 all the way up to 110 kilometers per hour. There is a couple of rules. Rule number 1, AC set to auto and 20 degrees Celsius. I will even try to activate Eco Plus because that's available. Second thing, keep to the speed limit. Very important to be able to be as consistent as possible. And the third rule is drive on the dedicated eco modes. And in this case, the Macan doesn't have anything called eco. So when I toggle the different drive modes, there is off-road, normal, sport and sport plus. So it's set to normal. And it even lowers the car over a certain speed since it has the air suspension. So soon it's going to be 110 kilometers per hour. The car is going to be a bit lower. I've just started a trip, so 10 kilometers passed, and the average consumption until now is 23 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, or 22.7 now. I mean, it's too early to say. We will check back soon. Soon hitting 25 kilometers. Average consumption 20.8 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, 20.7 now. It's getting darker. I mean, the clock is only 3:30 p.m. and yeah, this is how it is. I'm trying to hurry not to be catched during darkness because the quality obviously gets worse, but I hope this is okay. Acoustic warnings when you travel a bit over the speed limit is of course also present and activated in the Macan since it's obligatory in the European Union. So when I drive a bit over the speed limit, it will start beeping. But as in the Taycan, it's really easy to deactivate that one. So there is a favorite button on the left side of the steering wheel. It's the diamond-shaped icon. You can bind that to the deactivation of the speed limit warning. So with a single press, you deactivate it. That's very convenient and very easy, and I like that. There's other ways to do that too. It is on the main screen, as you see here, you have tiles. You can customize the tiles, and the tile here currently mostly to the right does have some quick access shortcuts. For instance, the speed warning is one of them, so you can single tap that to deactivate or activate the speed warning. It's a great head-up display, by the way. It's augmented reality, really clear and good information. So I actually don't need the instrument cluster anymore. I'm trusting the head-up display fully. Hitting the halfway, I think it's spot on when it comes to the triple meter. Average consumption, 19.2 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. So it's going downwards. Let's see how this ends. It's a quiet car. I haven't talked about the noise comfort. I'm going to measure the actual cabin noise after this, so stay tuned for that. But it's equipped with acoustic glass, so double pane windows, both here at the front and at the rear. And the insulation seems to be good. It's a silent car. It's a very silent and comfortable car, and I can tell already, so stay tuned. Let me summarize the range and consumption test. The final average consumption ended up at 20.3 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. That equals to a full range for the full battery pack of 470 kilometers. Compared to the stated WLTP of 558, that's 84%. And keep in mind that this is more or less a winter test or mild summer test. I mean, the winter tires are on, studless, 7 degrees outside Celsius. So it's not the best conditions, but still dry roads. But you'll probably achieve better range during real summer conditions over 20 degrees Celsius. So 470, I guess that's okay, especially given the charging. We're going to look at that soon. Let's move on to acceleration test. I did a couple of runs, dry roads, 5 degrees Celsius, and at 75% state of charge, I actually achieved the best time of 5.26 seconds, 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, or 5.02 seconds, or 5 seconds flat, 0 to 60 miles per hour. That's, I mean, exactly on point. Porsche states 5.2, 5.26, that's close enough. I guess with some better conditions and a full battery pack, that's probably fully achievable. And as always with the Porsche, the acceleration is really in control. The car is very settled, the suspension is really nice and firm. You feel really in control all the time. And I did this in Sport Plus with launch mode. And you activate the launch mode by, you know the drill, pressing the brake with your left foot, same time as you floor the accelerator. The screen tells you that launch mode is active, and you let go of the brake. That's how you get these extra horsepower, and that's the only way you will get these 408 horsepower. Otherwise, you will be driving around with 387 as a peak power. Let's move on to the noise cabin noise test, I always measure the cabin noise the same way. I place a microphone at the headrest height or head height at the passenger side. I close the curtain, if there is a curtain, to reduce the echo or the sound waves moving around. And I measure in different speeds, 50, 70, 90 and 110 kilometers per hour. This is the final result. The car is equipped with acoustic glass, both here in the front and at the rear. So it's probably a bit more silent than without. But I must say that I'm impressed by the sound level, by the sound comfort in this car, despite having big rims and a lot of rubber. I mean, 295s at the rear, 255s at the front, 22-inch rims. Still very comfortable, both when it comes to noise level, but also suspension comfort. Just to make it a bit more comparable, this is among the top end of cars when it comes to cabin noise. It's more silent than the MEB platform, the SUVs, I mean the ID4, the Skoda Enyaq, the Ford Explorer I recently tested. They are below this one when it comes to cabin noise. It's more close to the top peers like the Xpeng G6. That's one of the most silent cars I've ever tested. This doesn't fall that short from that one. It is also fairly close to the Neo EL7, also one of the most silent cars, and the EQE SUV. All those three are really top tier cabin noise cars when it comes to mid-size or full-size SUVs. Let's move on to the last part, maybe the most exciting part, charging. I charged the car from 10 all the way up to 80% in one go. I preheated the battery pack. There is a preconditioning function. You can't activate that manually. You need to use the built-in navigation and navigate to a fast charger. That way it starts warming up the battery pack. A bit disappointing that that function not is manually activated, because I mean sometimes you may want to use built-in navigation from Android, for instance, Google Maps, then it won't work. A bit sad, because that worked on the Taycan. The Taycan also had another function that this one didn't have, and that's showing the current possible charge speed. That's really good information, and I hope they will add that into the software too, because I love to see that, and it really helps you out to like optimize your trip and your charging to minimize the time you actually spend at the charge station. But nevertheless, I entered the charger with a good battery temperature, so I achieved top speeds. At 15%, the maximum speed was 287 kilowatts. That's more than the stated 270, so it over-delivers when it comes to peak power. And the total charge time, 21 minutes and 7 seconds. 21 minutes and 7 seconds, that's spot on. I mean, Porsche stated 21 minutes, it's 21 minutes, and it's really impressive. That's not far from filling up a car at a gas station if you visit the restroom. A good charge curve, tapering slowly, so at 80% the end speed was 111 kilowatts. That's a good charge speed at 80%, impressive. So that's all the tests, and all in all, I'll try to summarize my week with the Porsche Macan 4. It has been a great week, and I have been excited to test out this car. I mean, it's on Porsche's own platform. It's a good platform, 800 volts, good charging, good performance, and that mixed with a premium feel and a good-looking car. I think this is a good package. It's a good package if you can overcome the price point. I'm a bit disappointed about the efficiency. I was expecting a bit more of a range. Maybe with smaller rims, that's possible, or it is for sure, but still I wanted it to be a bit lower. But it's actually saved by the good charging anyway, because you don't need to spend that much of a time, and you will anyway be able to crank out a lot of miles or kilometers during a day of a trip, because the charging is not an issue. So what do you think about the Macan? Share your thoughts right in the comments below. And as I always say, like, subscribe and engage. And most importantly, stay electric. Thank you for watching. Speak to you soon.